Hi, and welcome back. It's Deborah Pietsch with Up.Shift Is Happening. And this is a show in a series of videos and shows that I've created in regards to basic information regarding this transformation and the conscious evolution. And so this is about the symptoms that you may be experiencing. And this is actually one of a two-part series. This is the basic of the symptoms that you might be experiencing. The second part I get into will go more in depth in regards to the pituitary pineal, the electromagnetic matrix within us, and the multidimensional aspects that are being revealed. This, though, is to give you some basic information of what you might be experiencing, even if you are a complete newbie and have not been aware of the spiritual changes and transformation, conscious evolution that is occurring. So I'm just going to take a few minutes here and just give you some information that hopefully will shed some light for you on this situation. If you haven't seen any of the other either shows or webinars that I've done or been in a session, one of the things I will just share with you is that for me, this has been a 25-year proactive journey in preparing and being prepared to bring forth at this time of great shift. And I do believe the shift is about to hit the fan. The slumber party is over. Anyway, the changes that we're about to experience are phenomenal and amazing. And your body is being definitely experiencing and being exposed to these changes and these transformations, regardless of whether you're aware of it or not. If you're here and alive on the planet right now, you're experiencing something. So I'm going to go through the symptoms based on each area, physical, mental, spiritual, and give you just some of the different parameters, things that you might be experiencing. So for physical, you could be experiencing headaches. And one of the reasons for that is because we're electromagnetic beings and we have a brain chemistry that is being affected right now that has to do with the crystalline energy that is in the Earth matrix. The Earth also has a crystalline grid matrix, and we do as well. And it's the information, that is one of the information elements for us. And that's also another reason why a lot of the spiritual facilitators and healers and teachers are into crystals. Actually, this is my main crystal, and she goes with me everywhere I go. And I know that since I actually started working with this crystal on a regular basis a few years ago, and I acquired it in Mount Shasta in a very interesting experience, things really shifted for me, really shifted. And so I encourage you to actually be open to crystals because there's a reason they're in computers. So your headaches, they could be actually occurring. One, you might not be drinking enough water. Actually, I haven't been. And also because of the electromagnetic impulses and the pituitary and the pineal glands are being expanded, activated. And I get more into that into part 2. Here, I just want you to be aware that if you're having headaches and you aren't used to having headaches, it's an energy thing. And there's actually things that you can do to alleviate that. Another thing is you could be experiencing flu. Now, I just actually went through that. I traveled somewhere that I hadn't been in about 5 years, and very dense energy. And I also believe that it was a time for me to just kind of shut down a little bit. And oh my gosh, a lot of stuff. And so, and I haven't probably had a cold in like 5 years either. So I don't typically actually get sick because it's not even in my belief system. So even if I go to somebody that has the flu or whatever, I never worry about it because my belief is I don't need to get sick and I'm not interested in getting sick. So in any case, if you've got an ongoing flu or some just even I'm going to go as far as to say having a lot of mucus come up. That might be because the energy and the vibration is changing in your body, in your entire body, and that can't stay there. As your light body is becoming activated, that can't actually stay in that field. Another thing is, and I put this under physical because it's a physical sensation, and I call it the skin crawl. And every person that I've actually said it to has gone, oh my God, that's it. And it is a feeling that you want to jump out of your skin, basically. And I know I went through it years ago, and it's so challenging until you really understand what it is. And it's basically you're shifting. You're literally in that cocoon of metamorphosis of the caterpillar into the butterfly. And the comfort zone that you have lived in is no longer the same comfort zone. And you kind of actually have that skin crawling feeling sometimes, and it can come in waves. All of this is a roller coaster because your higher self and your guides are not going to give you more than what you can handle. And at the same time, the more you embrace all of these changes and recognize these symptoms and surrender and allow, the easier it's going to be. Promise you. I promise you from my own experience. And so this skin crawling is like that. It's also fear coming up, and lineages and lines of emotional stuff that we have been carrying basically for our lineage. And that can be ethnic, it can be cultural, in that how you were brought up with, wealth, etc. So that skin crawling feeling is you literally shedding from the old paradigm you into the new paradigm you. And just really be aware of it, because it's there for a reason. And you're not dying. Yes, actually, I take that back. You are. You are dying. There are aspects of you that are dissolving, that are no longer serving you. And that is why you're moving from that old comfort zone into this new comfort zone. And the in-between is where the uncomfortableness is experienced. Okay, so let's talk about emotions. So you might be on an emotional roller coaster, actually. Roller coaster is a really good analogy because it's up and down, and even the waves of transformation are like a roller coaster, so that you can process things. You may be experiencing hopelessness. You may be experiencing a lack of motivation to go to your job, especially if it's something that you do not resonate with on a heart-to-heart soul level, and that you're not passionate about it, which the majority of the population is really at that point, at this point in time. You may be experiencing a fear of the future, and everything is looking very bleak. And so how is this going to get any better? You may be experiencing even depression, and be asking questions like, why is this happening to me? One of the things to be aware of is that it is not just happening to you, it is happening to everybody. So my suggestion for that also is that if you are thinking that you're the only one, please reach out. Please reach out to a person or a community of people that have some spiritual awareness of what is unfolding, so that we are all in this together, so that you are not experiencing that alone. Don't isolate. I always say it's okay to isolate if you are actually processing through things, because I definitely spend a fair amount of time by myself, and it's actually that's actually dissipating, because I have done a lot of processing over the last several years in order to be prepared for right now. But there's a healthy isolation, and then there's an unhealthy isolation. And you're going to know, you're smart. Just ask yourself, am I isolating just to hide? And am I having that feeling of paralysis? and fear of moving forward and fear of what is to come, if that's the case and you haven't learned how to self-process, which I actually teach in the very basic webinar course of Thriving Through Shifting Times, and it's so important to be able to self-process and to understand all the different things that are going on with you. This is such a time to not really, this is such a time, let me rephrase that. This is such a time to really get to know who you are, really deeply who you are. And I say this with a grain of salt, and please take this in the way that it is intended. Some people really don't know what is in your highest good. And when you learn how to self-process, you know what's for your highest good. And you're not inclined to reach out and ask other people, because oftentimes people are going to answer you for what they want for you and not necessarily what is in your highest good. There's a whole other thing that I get into talking about how we make our choices based on personality, desires, and wants versus are we tuning in and getting what's our highest good for our soul. That's a whole nother thing. But right now, be aware of the emotional roller coaster. And if you don't understand what's going on, please get the tools. I'm a resource. I have all sorts of ways to support people and to support you in gaining the tools and the awareness and the understanding. But I'm not the only one. And I just encourage you to get the support. And so then spiritually in this transformation, what are the symptoms that you might be going through? Well, first of all, a roller coaster. Again, and I just keep coming back to that because that's what is happening. There's waves of energy that are being activated and released on the planet. And it's affecting our physical bodies, mental bodies, spiritual bodies, and like a roller coaster. It's like waves. And so if you are questioning, I would say that the big part of the spiritual transformation is questioning everything. Questioning the beliefs you were brought up with, questioning the programming, questioning the choices that you're making day to day, questioning what it is that you really want and what brings you joy, what makes you happy. And I think that we've actually been, out of necessity, we've needed to choose, many people have needed to choose what their life's work is because the contraction of all the energy of money in the last 10 years especially. And I believe that that has been manipulated in a way that was not meant to be experienced to this much of a downward spiral. And we're going to bounce back and we're going to have things open up for us so that we don't need to choose how we do our day-to-day survival based on survival. That we are going to transform, and through this transformation, excuse me, we're going to transition, there's where I was looking for, into being able to choose what we want in our life by what is our heart's desires. Okay, so mentally, are you experiencing a monkey mind? I call it monkey mind or mind chatter, where you just find yourself like in this like mode of monkey mind, and you sometimes maybe even have difficulty falling asleep. I actually have no monkey mind anymore. I was thinking about this the other day when I was writing up this outline, and I was like, oh my God, how awesome is that? Because I don't have monkey mind anymore. When you get to a place, you you have processed through so much. And I also traverse multidimensionally, moment to moment. I've been getting guidance even right now as I've been speaking. And when you get to a place of that much peace and stillness within yourself, the monkey mind, it actually stops. And so just be aware of it, because I'm encouraging people to have an awareness of it, because it's that with everything. Until you have an awareness of it, you can't shine a light on it to neutralize it. or to overcome it or heal it or whatever the final intention is. So, okay, mentally, you may have old thoughts surfacing. So thoughts that you may have thought you put to rest or put to bed, maybe about a certain person or about an opportunity that was missed, or things that you've literally thought of. And what's happening is what goes up must come down. And so therefore, what goes in must come out. If you have stuffed feelings and thoughts about any particular situation, experience, or issue, whatever, it's going to have to come out in what's happening on the planet right now. Everything is, it's like the flashlights are shining everywhere. And it's from the inside of the earth out, and also from because we are connected with the earth, it's from the inside out as well. And so these little flashlights are going through, and they're going, oh, there's some shadow, there's some stuff. Oh, shadow. Check out the other show that I did in regards to what are our shadows. So, there's these little flashlights. It's kind of funny because I'm just getting a visual right now of like these little, energy beings inside of us going, oh, there's some stuff right there. Okay, let's get to scrape the muck up. Let's just shine the light on. And all of a sudden you have a thought of something that you did 10 years ago that you stuffed that feeling about and stuffed that thought about. Feelings and thoughts are so tied in, and it's coming to the surface. And I'm calling this process, things are being revealed in order to be healed so they can be cleared. And so that might be some of the mental stuff that you've got going on in this transformation, symptoms of transformation. You may be experiencing and thinking that you're very disconnected. You're disconnected from other people, you're disconnected, and that you're the only one experiencing this. And trust me, you are not. And so those thoughts are even being brought to your awareness so that you can actually connect with people. And this is a time for us to actually really be aware of the oneness. And that's not just like a woo-woo, oh, we're all one. There is a scientific matrix that is being revealed in our to reveal our oneness. I won't get into that here, but if you're feeling that you want to disconnect, again, if you're what I was saying in regards to isolation, really pay attention to, are you feeling disconnected, or are you wanting to disconnect from the old paradigm? And that's actually a really big point, is that this isn't what I was going to talk about, but I'm just going to say that here because it's coming in. There's also a disconnecting from the old paradigm that is occurring as the infrastructures that are not going to work in the new paradigm, and the global economics is the first. As those are crumbling, we are actually we are being forced to disconnect. If you are still tied into that system as a safety net, which is an illusion, you are going to be forced to disconnect. And that's going to bring up a whole can of worms and different things that lovingly need to be revealed and to be healed and to be dealt with. So that's something that I really get into in the Being Your Own Guru series, so that you can be your own guru, basically. It's time for us to, I say self-process, but it's being your own guru. Well, I should say it the other way. I call it being your own guru, but really what it is it's self-processing and moving into a multidimensional being, who you already are, but it's just being revealed. So it's just being revealed. Okay, it's not like, oh, this is all brand new. It's already that you are a multidimensional being. It's just being revealed. Okay, so solutions. So a couple solutions would be, check out the video, the show that I did on tools to support you through transition. There's the basic, and then there's the advanced. And the advanced actually gets into more about the multidimensional, what's happening, and the pituitary and the pineal gland, etc. Check out Thriving Through Shifting Times. That's the foundational course that I've created, webinar series that I've created, which will go live as well. That is really teaching people, it's about teaching people how to utilize basic tools, foundational tools to support you, and even to support you to be able to be your own guru so that you know how to process through things, because it's important. It's very important. And how to ground and how to clear your field, your energy field, etc. Reach out to other people, talk openly about what you're experiencing, and you are going to probably be maybe surprised that how many people are also experiencing and going through the same similar shifts. I'm still offering one-on-one free sessions. That probably is going to dissipate more and more as the show becomes more popular and whatnot. But I've had it's been humbling, the profound shifts that people have made with the sessions and in the webinars as well, which the webinars are all experiential and energy clearings and energy activations, etc. And then the last thing is, this isn't going to go away. This transformation is here to stay, and the best thing for you to do, I'm going to say it one more time, is to embrace it and to allow everything that is meant to be revealed, and take a look at the tools that you can use so that you have at least the basic awareness of what and how to be. And as always, wherever you are in your journey, remember to love yourself and to honor yourself and to keep choosing what it is that is in your highest divine truth and that brings you joy. So thank you for being here. Hi, and welcome back. It's Deborah Pietsch with Up.Shift Is Happening. And this is a show in a series of videos and shows that I've created in regards to basic information regarding this transformation and the conscious evolution. And so this is about the symptoms that you may be experiencing. And this is actually one of a two-part series. This is the basic of the symptoms that you might be experiencing. The second part I get into will go more in depth in regards to the pituitary, pineal, the electromagnetic, and alive on the planet right now, you're experiencing something. So I'm going to go through the symptoms based on each area, physical, mental, spiritual, and give you just some of the different parameters, things that you might be experiencing. So for physical, you could be experiencing headaches. And one of the reasons for that is because we're electromagnetic beings, and we have a brain chemistry that is being affected right now that has to do with the crystalline energy that is in the Earth matrix. The Earth also has a crystalline grid matrix, and we do as well. And it's the information, that is one of the information elements for us. And that's also another reason why a lot of the spiritual facilitators and healers and teachers are into crystals. Actually, this is my main crystal, and she goes with me everywhere I go. And I know that since I actually started working with this crystal on a regular basis a few years ago, and I acquired it in Mount Shasta in a very interesting experience. Matrix within us and the multidimensional aspects that are being revealed. This, though, is to give you some basic information of what you might be experiencing, even if you are a complete newbie and have not been aware of the spiritual changes and transformation, conscious evolution that is occurring. So I'm just going to take a few minutes here and just give you some information that hopefully will shed some light for you on this situation. If you haven't seen any of the other either shows or webinars that I've done or been in a session, one of the things I will just share with you is that for me, this has been a 25-year proactive journey in preparing and being prepared to bring forth at this time of great shift. And I do believe the shift is about to hit the fan. The slumber party is over. Anyway, the the changes that we're about to experience are phenomenal and amazing. And your body is being definitely experiencing and being exposed to these changes and these transformations, regardless of whether you're aware of it or not. If you're here